Evening, everyone. It is 4:58, and I've been trying to get these out a little earlier and have them be a little shorter. So here we are. It was kind of another boring day, like yesterday was, and everything was barely in the green, and then the mega caps started to move into the red, and that really dragged the market down. However, they were minuscule changes. Um, when you think about the Dow being down $31 and you're talking about it being less than a tenth of a percent of net change, you're really not talking about much. The biggest loser today was the NASDAQ, down 68.77 or 0.42. Advanced declines on the NYSE were 5 to 4 to the downside, 3 to 2 to the downside in the Nasdaq, and volume was a little higher, 5.1 billion. S&P was down 1461 or 0.28. The Russell was down $4 even, 0.19, and the transports down 58.22 or 0.37. Um, there's a video attached to this just below the daily video about our silver trade. I've distributed it through our Discord room and my lists of people, and I would urge you to watch it. It's only about 4 minutes long, but it really explains. We took about a third of a profit of about a third. I think we paid 45 and we sold them at 60. My concern is that, we're coming into a 3-day weekend. And besides that, we also um, have all of the PCE news and a bunch of other things coming out on Friday, even though there's no market on Friday. And so not only is it a 3-day weekend, but we could have major market moving information coming out. Today we had the Philly Fed, which was another huge decline, 18.3 versus 18.9 as the worst month, and that was back in April. We did have a positive result, excuse me, on the $67 billion 5-year Treasury auction, Rick Chantelli calling it an A. FHFA was down 1/10, which was in line with expectations. Schiller was up 6.6. That was versus 6.2 expected. Consumer confidence took a dive, 14.7 versus expectation, 104.7 versus 106.7 expected, and 104.8 in the rear view mirror. So we also had some fairly decent earnings by McCormick, which was higher. And after the close tonight, we had GME, GameStop, with a miss both top and bottom line. And that one is down. Let me just tell you exactly what it's down because it was substantial. I believe it was about 15%, but I just want to make sure. Yep. Last is 13.22. That's down $1.91. It had actually been up a bit at the regular market close. Let me just see. Yeah, it was trading 15 and a half, up 38 cents. So that was a bit of a decline. And one of my favorite names, just personally, not because of the stock or anything, Krispy Kreme. DNUT, and they are going into all McDonald's nationwide within the next year. And that one was also strongly higher. Let's see, DNUT. Last trade is 1735. It has been as high as 1784, but even so, we're up 40% on the day. My sectors were mixed with biopharma and um, food service, energy, um, defense, crypto, AI, and the metals all negative, and air and cruise lines, financials, pot, infrastructure, and retail on the higher side. But if you couldn't get a move in the infrastructures on a day where a bridge collapses, you'd really have to be having an issue. Okay, as far as the futures, we closed out the first half of. We closed out the silver. I'm looking to get back in. It's down to its 20-day moving average, and it looked like it might bounce there, and they expire tomorrow. And so I didn't want to take the chance of any of the news. As you can see here, it came right down to the 20-day moving average. I still feel negative, but I'd like, as you watch the video, if it gets back into this 25 area, I'd like to get short again. As far as energy, we were down across the board with, these are not settlement prices, but those don't come out for another 15 minutes or so. The oil was down 71 cents, down 6 cents in heating oil, down 5 cents in the gasoline. That gas was barely changed, down a half of a penny. The gold, after being up 25, closed up 2. The silver, was up a little this morning at the open and then just fell back 30 cents. This outperformance of the gold versus the silver has really gotten my eye on this. Copper was down a penny, platinum, palladium, all lower. Uranium also basically unchanged, but that's a very thin market. So I don't really expect a lot from there. The stock futures, the dollar index was a little higher. Bonds were also a little higher, 9/32, so a quarter of a point. Bitcoin gave back just barely 20% of what it was up yesterday. Same situation with Ethereum. And not to put too fine a point on it, that's about it. All right, folks. Tomorrow we have no real economic news until Thursday. Tomorrow, I think we just have mortgage apps and the EIA crude inventories. Neither of which should be terribly market moving. Thursday, we have all of the normal Thursday stuff, which is claims, etc. All right, folks, I'll be back first thing in the morning.